Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be talking about reptilians, human sacrifice, and what we can do to, possibly remove ourselves from being food in the food chain. Okay. So bear with me as I'm freestyling this message. My job is to get a message out on this channel every day and make it coherent. So I'm channeling the information. It's not something that I write and organize, so it's channeled. So bear with me, listen. I'm just gonna be sometimes it's not, everything is not like flowing this way. Sometimes it's something here, something here, something there, and then it all comes together as a whole. Okay, so some key events that we're going to tie into this presentation. Okay, one is we have the passing of IRV Gotti. Okay, the other event that I'm going to talk about is traveling these United States and coming into communities where there are nothing but white people, and they're older white people. They run in the whole town, city. They in the stores, they serving the food, they out and about, they out at night eating out at dinner. They live into long ages. I haven't been anywhere in the United States and seen just communities of black older men or women just living on that type of level, like where like death doesn't exist, like they're immortal. Like at least in my travels and in growing up in the city I was in, there really was no elders. The young was raising the young, and there wasn't, and I'm an 80s baby. So prior to that, perhaps there was a lot of black men that lived a long time, because I do have one photo maybe from the 70s or 60s where I had all the men that were in my family, which I never got to meet in my generation, but it was about 8 of them, 8 men that I seen in a picture together. Then I seen pictures of the women, which was a few of them, and that probably was in the 60s too, and they were like probably in their mid 50s or 60s. So they were living longer, perhaps prior to the 80s, prior to the advent of crack cocaine, prior to the civil rights movement, prior to pro-intel, what is it? Oh, help me, Lord, with my words today. COINTELPRO, and prior to heroin, the Panther movement in the 70s, and all these different movements of the uprising and the awakening of the black man and black woman, okay, in America. So 80s come around, I'm born, and everything's in shambles where I grew up. I don't see no elderly people, period. It's like they don't even exist. Our people are not living to long ages. But as I'm traveling these United States, these white folks is living very long. They is out at night at these restaurants. When I go in these restaurants, ain't not one black person. There's black people serving them, but they is out at night eating dinner every night. And I mean a whole restaurant pack with them. Okay, you go out in the morning, they having breakfast, they out walking, they everywhere. So you see them. And it's not like the city just has them and it's just older people, like it's a retirement town or something. No, this ain't just no retirement town. You see the young population too, but it pops out to you that there's actually like something in your brain is awakened, that you see older people thriving and living. You know what I mean? I didn't see that growing up, and I don't see that traveling, going to different states and cities where there's huge black populations. I don't see it. Okay, so this message is inspired by that realization, the passing of IRV Gotti, okay, and pretty much information that's been fed to my consciousness the past couple of days. So last night before I went to bed, I got an impression on my car window, and it looked like, what these people are calling reptilians. Last night when I seen it, it had its tongue out. It was on my window. It was an impression of it, and I showed my daughter, and then, we went to sleep. Okay. I wake up in the morning, I get online, and I see a short on YouTube, and it's Joe Rogan, and he's talking to someone who begins to talk about these reptilians. So that made me think to myself, which probably a couple of days ago, for some reason, I thought about David Icke. I've heard of him. I've never gotten into any of his literature. I've heard different things about him. He's a government agent, or, you know, he was crazy, or actually his information is the foundation of a lot of information that, you know, I've already consumed. Just doesn't have his face on it, but he's very much, his information is very much intertwined with the new thought and all the information that we are receiving present day. Is underlying. We just don't know that he is involved in it, you know? So I've always heard his name, and something this morning told me to look him up. So I look him up, and I watch a couple videos on what he presents about the reptilians, okay? And one of the videos that I seen, one of the main things that popped out to me was he talked about gold, and gold being an important element for these reptilians. That he talks about them having a space station up there in the moon, and how the moon somehow, he believes, gold, you know, is a main component of their civilization. Okay, it's a main resource that they need. We know this as well to be true with the Anunnaki, that gold is a main resource. Okay, about a month or two ago, I had 3 a.m. prayers, 3 a.m. meditation. Gold, AU popped up. Spirit wanted me to focus on gold, AU. Okay, so this is all tying in now. Okay, so he begins to talk about the reptilians feeding off of humanity. You know, in all of my videos, I've been talking about these demons, these vampires, and whoever the hell it is. They low vibration. I just know they at war with humans, and I know that they are sucking our blood and our energy. You know, I have been a victim of these beings, but I call them demons. And, you know, they probably go by many names, but it was something interesting. He said, you know, these reptilians, many people call them demons or vampires and stuff like that. I said, okay, he's hitting on something. Whatever the names of these beings, we know they exist, and we know they are maleficent, and they're no good to humans. They are opposed to human life, okay? So he mentions that, which was bing, bing, bing in my brain, okay? So I wanted to talk today. This is sort of like a health message and a conscious message, a message to be awakened, okay? But whatever name we call these beings that we know don't like us and they feeding off of us, whatever they may be, okay? These are the things that came to my mind instantly, okay? I remember back in 2016, I had moved to Fayetteville, North Carolina, okay? And that's a military town. I met this young man, and he began to tell me about a whole bunch of stuff. You know, his parents had been in the military, and some things that he mentioned to me, but he didn't give me things in full sentences, but he was just giving me bits and pieces that I guess later on in life would obviously be helpful and useful. He was one of the first people that talked to me about being a targeted individual. He told me he was a targeted individual. Another thing that he talked about, he said, you know what's more resourceful or more expensive than gold? He told me melanin. He said this spacesuit that we're carrying as the black race, okay? The dark race, or the dark races, right? He said this. So I said, okay. I heard him, and he gave me some insight on that. He also talked about how he was seeing people, and people weren't exactly who they were. He was telling me that he was being followed pretty much by these reptilians who was in human form. They was wearing human skin. This is what they do, and they kill humans and they put on your skin. Or maybe somehow they manifested that. Well, he didn't go into details about this. This is me freestyling. But maybe they, you know, once your body decomposed, they find a way to make it their space suit and cover and cloak themselves in, so they can maneuver here. And he was talking about how he could see them taking off their skin suit and stuff like that. Now, at that time, you know, I was interested, and I was like, okay, you know, I was open-minded. I don't know that I believed everything that he was saying at that time, you know, or if I thought he might have been a little off or whatever, but I was listening. I knew he wasn't that much off because I was listening. You know, I just hadn't come into these levels of realization at the time, you know. Okay, so I say that to say these are these particular demons or reptilians, okay, that's amongst us, okay. And he talked about the dark race and the dark skin melanin being highly valuable. It's a resource that's highly valuable, something similar to gold, okay, or more than gold. It is the gold of these people, okay. So now we're going to talk about me. At one time I was going to donate plasma. Matter of fact, when I got to this city in North Carolina, right, I went to go donate plasma. They had like a couple of plasma centers in the city, and it was a way for me, being that I was in a new city, to, you know, make some extra cash or whatever. Young, ignorant, you know, thinking I knew something. I was learning a lot of stuff at that time, but had no level of awareness of these things, okay. So, you know, I'm thinking all is well, you know, let me go make my little money, give a little plasma. Now I do remember them having a picture on the wall of this older white man, and he says, "Thank you so much, you're saving our lives, thank you for your contribution." So it was literally like a form of vampire. They loved me when I came in. I would come in there, and most people be on the machine for about an hour. I'd be on that bitch for about 27 minutes. They were sucking the hell out of me, getting my plasma out or whatever. And I did this for about a year straight, y'all, about a year straight, giving away all my goodness. Had no idea I was giving my virtue away, okay. They was sucking me out, getting the plasma. Plasma is the liquid form of your blood, okay? Life is in the blood. I was giving my life away. I was giving my energy, my sacred fluids away to someone else so I can extend their lives, okay? Now, now I would get too, like, sometimes, especially around my period, I get exhausted after going and giving my oh, hold on, y'all. Let me take my tea bag out here. I had it in a little longer than expected. Hold on. Okay. Then I go like this. Get the remainder juice out of it. Okay. So we're talking about the plasma center and giving my blood out. During my cycle, I get drained, man. And over time, I was getting drained. And there was a time when my body became intelligent. I would go in there and try to get some money, and my veins would roll over. This is the intelligence of the body. I had given too much, okay? The body wouldn't allow them to find a vein. Every time they thought they found a vein, it would roll over on them. They couldn't get me. To the point I just had to stop going, because every time I went, my body rejected it, okay? But this is a form, this is a technology that they're using down here to extend their lives. Now, one thing we would say was, okay, now we know that white people have a form of melanin, or the lighter skin races have a form of melanin, right? We have David Icke talking out about these beings, though some people say he's a government agent, okay? Are the white races can they be vampired upon as well? If anybody has any insight on that, let me know. Is this something particularly happening to us, or is it done more to us because we have more of it and ours is more valuable? Okay, I want to know, because how could this man be talking about it if his people are the ones that actually are profiting from it? You know what I mean? Or do they bother all of humankind, including white races, but is it that, you know, they don't really worry too much with them because theirs isn't significant, they don't get a significant amount? Or how does that work? If anybody has any insight on that, leave that down in the comment section. Bring more clarity to me. Again, I'm just here bringing a message forth for edification for our community, but also to receive some insight if there's someone that has more knowledge on this topic than I do, okay? So now we're going to tie this in as well with IRV Gotti's recent passing, okay? In the past 10 years, we've seen so many hip-hop rappers pass away, okay? And this is just something that's right in front of our eyes. I mean, you could just look in your community and see people dying day in and day out, week after week after week, people just dying. It's like blacks is part of death culture. It's like these spirits probably what these reptilians is attached to us, and we attach to death culture because they vampiring off of us, you know. So I say that before I get into that, I'm saying Irv's Gotti's passing, right? From what I know, from what he shared with the world and what I seen online, was he said he had diabetes. He had it for a few years, and I remember him talking about how he was amazed that once he got his $100 million deal, how all of these different doors supposedly opened for him. How they was it was all these banks saying, oh, don't worry, we're going to get you the best doctors, we're going to get you the best medicine, we're going to get you all this good stuff. And he had thought to himself, he had an epiphany, like, well, damn, if you ain't got no money, you can't get the best health care, and they could just pretty much let you die when you broke. And he was just thinking like that was fucked up. But here he is, you know, God rest the dead, you know, and with all due respect, he's 55 and he's gone now, you know, from supposedly this genetic disease called diabetes. Okay. So what I know is, when I was a young lady, okay, like my early 20s, I went to the doctors and they was telling me I was pre-diabetic and shit like that. And instantly, you know, I went into researching, right? Instantly in a month, changed things around. So I know that a lot of this stuff, high blood pressure, diabetes, all the shit that they put on us, right, is reversible, and you could do it in a matter of a month. Okay. And with all of his money, supposedly these doctors couldn't save him, or could they? Okay. So another thing that I'm going to put in that just came to me was with that license. When you get your license, they ask you if you want to be a blood donor or an organ donor upon your death. No, you do not. Okay. Not that it probably matter, because these people do what the fuck they want to do, but they act like you got some kind of permission and some kind of say so in it. Okay. But this is just to show you that when you go in these hospitals, they're not really trying to save your lives. Okay. They are going to be more likely than anything to let you go, because they know that you are powerful. You are what powers the forces that are here, that are feeding off of us. So if you die, it's a great thing. You know what I mean? It's a great thing, because, you know, they get your resources, your organs, your body, which now goes and replenish them and keeps coding and keeps on their life cycle. Okay. So Irv's passing, we do know that it was something that was very much reversible. And with the amount of money that he had and time and resources, nothing for him to have gotten a gym membership, begin to eat healthy, even if he didn't want to give up the foods that he loved, like chicken and meat and things like that. You know, he could have cooked in cleaner oil. He could have done things that should not have brought him to an early death. But I'm gonna tell you what I know. Okay. What I know is that when a lot of people, I done seen it in my own life. Okay. People, both black and white, done told me that the hospital done killed they kinfolk. Okay. You go up in there and all of a sudden they give you stuff. You start taking that medicine. What the fuck is that medicine they giving you? How do you know that what they're giving you isn't a poison to actually take you out? Okay. I need my people to start thinking. Okay. I need y'all really to stop going up in these places. Okay. Thinking that these people are your friends. No, that's the chop shop. Okay. Where you will be food for what we've been calling the gods, the demons, the parasites, the reptilians. Okay. You'll be on their plate. So stay out of their facilities. Okay. It's time for you to be in control of your own life, okay, to the best that you can, because obviously they've been ruling and running the world forever. So they have a grip on a lot of us still, even no matter how free we think we are getting. There's still some form of grip until we completely break free. And the breaking free, I believe, is going to come when we all awaken and we all unite. Okay. But until then, do the best you can to take care of your body and yourself. We already know what foods are bad, so just lay off them. Don't eat so much of it. You know, if you still love it and you like it, just clean them up. Eat less of it. Eat once a day. You know what I mean? And the greatest thing that I realized is sometimes it's not, someone did a video I seen, it's not so much of what you eat, it's what you don't eat. So if you gonna have that fried chicken, right? Make a fried chicken salad, add some salad to it, right? But even more important than these vegetables, right? Because we know that the soil isn't as good, okay? And we know that a lot of this stuff is genetically modified, right? You just want to get you some natural herbal teas, high vibrational leaves, okay? Because I remember on Drink Tramps, they asked Irv Gotti, well, what did they say you can eat? He said, you know, like stuff like leaves and stuff. And I remember doing a video recently with Spirit. I had Spirit about what can we use to cure cancer and things of that sort. And then big old leaves begin to fly into my car. So I said, damn, what you want me to do? You want me to eat leaves? But then I wasn't thinking clearer, you know. It was eat more greens, okay? And high vibrational greens. So if you don't like salad, you don't like vegetables, cool. Get the teas that which are even superior than eating the vegetables and fruits. Get you some green tea, get you some you know, some moringa. Get you all of these different things. Moringa, matcha, chlorella, chlorophyll, all the different greens, you know what I mean, that come in herbal form, or you can get them in liquid form. You know, I like the herb. I like to, you know, touch the herb. I like the herbs. So, you know, this is what you can do. Just add in some tea to your daily routines. Tea in the morning, tea at night. One cup of tea a day can save your life. One apple a day, keep the doctor away. Very truthful. Okay, so just add a little something to the madness that you're consuming, and it will do great wonders. But the ultimate goal is to be as, you know, free from these things that wear the body down as possible. Honey's another great thing. Let me mention that honey's a great food source. It will keep you from being hungry. And a lot of things too, for those people with diabetes and suffering from high blood pressure. These teas and stuff take away your appetite because they're giving your body the nutrients it needs. So you're going to eat less of those foods that you crave. Take away cravings, okay? And also, like I said, it's a huge food source. So I could drink this cup of tea and it'll keep me the whole day. You know what I mean? But because my body is so trained to eating all the time, you know, and I feed my daughter, you start to thinking you need something to eat when you really don't. But it's something that I'm dealing with. But eventually, you know, we'll break free. I'll get back in the zone and we can begin to break that away again. So just add some great things to your life. And for those of you who don't like eating fruits or vegetables, just take the teas, okay? Or drink some juice, some natural juice if you can. Okay, but I find teas to be the best thing, because with juicing, you got to clean the juicer and you got to, you know, spend a whole bunch of money on different fruits. That's very pricey. Some tea is very efficient. $6-7 a box. You get about a 30-day supply and you good to go. It's very good health maintenance. Okay. Also, so I said teas, get you some honey to add to your tea. All right, not too much because it is still sugar, but about 2 tablespoons or even 1, depending on your liking, but no more than 2. Honey helps preserve the organs. You know, it keeps them intact so that they don't deteriorate. Okay, it's antioxidant. So tea, honey, and some lemons and limes. Lemons and limes are good for cleansing the blood, cleansing the digestive tract. You know, we talk about the gut being the second brain, you know, and that's where all the parasites feed out of. So constantly giving it a cleanse. Just putting a little lemon to your water and boom. And that's also like a meal too. It feeds like a meal. Okay. So if you got to keep eating the foods that you love, you know what I mean? Just add some really great things to your diet. So this way you can keep yourself out of those doctors and you can become your own doctor and your own scientist. Okay. Now, other than that, okay, these are the things that I'm bringing to you because we ain't living. We ain't got no communities where it's nothing but older people. I don't know where they exist at, okay? So that's telling you that we are dying at a high rate. They are killing our young with this hip hop, them shooting each other, okay? When you kill and hate on your own kind, what you're doing is now feeding yourself to the very person that has created that environment of self-hate for you. Your body now becomes their meal. Your blood, they drink it for their immortality. Okay, if we want to cancel these beings, we must stop feeding them our blood. And that's going to come through more knowledge and more wisdom, okay, of how to take care of ourselves and how to trust in ourselves to where you believe that you can live your life outside of the systems that they have put in place to govern you to a certain point so that you can eventually become food for them. They use you as a worker slave, and then they also use you as food and once you're disposed, you know what I mean? So we want to eventually get to a place where we can self-govern ourselves and we become actually the immortal ones, because that's the way it was supposed to be in the beginning. Okay, we are the immortals. I'm here to tell you that you are truly immortal. You should get out of your consciousness the thought of death. Okay, we are in the age and time of immortality. Okay, so Please take care of yourselves. And let me make sure I added every point in there. So I just gave you examples of the things that I'm witnessing and how they connect. Okay. So yes, let's not be food for these beings. Okay. Let's govern ourselves. Let's awaken to their plots and their plans to constantly put you in the grave. But before they put you in the grave, they're draining your blood, and they're also eating your organs, and they're harvesting your organs. Okay, let's be grateful for this spacesuit that we have, that so many beings, okay, want. You have those that just want to hijack it because they want to be in it. You have the ultimate spacesuit. You have been granted the ultimate spacesuit, the one that they've told you to hate, the skin that you've been told to hate. Okay, everything about this technology, which we call the human body, the black body, okay, is a gift of the gods. Everyone is fighting you to get to it. So if they're fighting you to get to it, it's precious. It's probably the most precious resource here on the planet. Okay, and that's why there's all this human sacrifice going on. The human body, very, very potent, very high resource to somebody. And to everybody, let's say everybody. So please cherish this spacesuit. Please start loving yourself, loving your hair, loving your body, no matter what shape and form it's in. Love it, appreciate it, and take care of it. Okay? You only got one of it, and there's so many forces out here to break it down so that they can have it. Okay? So with that being said, I hope this message was clear. And until next time, peace.